Hello, my name is Bethany and I'm an aquarist here at the Greater Cleveland Aquarium, and today we're going to talk about making salt for our corals. So we do that by starting off by filling our large barrel here to around 450 gallons with reverse osmosis deionized water. So that's going to be this equipment here. We start with a basic filter, a paper filter to remove any physical objects, and that goes down to a very small micron size. And then after that we have some carbon to remove some organics and some chemicals, and then we have a deionizing resin, and then we have some reverse osmosis filters that basically only let water molecules through and nothing else. So once that's done, we set up our equipment, and I start by dumping our tropic marin salt, our high quality sea salt mixture, into this waist high barrel, and then I can slowly add water from our great big silo and pump it back up into the silo, having mixed the salt into it. So this does take a while for the salt to dissolve, and it requires a lot of stirring. It does get warm as things like the calcium dissolve into it, so you can feel a temperature change as well. And you just mix that through until everything is mixed in and pushed into the main silo. And that silo also self-circulates within itself. So anything that is kind of dissolved but not really, as you can see with the white color to the water, will continue to get stirred around. And we always make sure to do a water quality test to make sure that it is actually dissolved and everything is correct and ready to go before we start using it. My stir stick is just a small aquarium window cleaner pad that I use upside down for stirring and right side up to wipe down the barrel when I'm getting close to the end and trying to make sure all of the salt goes through. When everything is done, I also use this small barrel to fill with just reverse osmosis fresh water, so that as evaporation happens, I have some fresh water to add back to, since all the salt will still be there. Our big silo is about 450 gallons, and we go through that much about every 2.5, 3 weeks. And that is for our invertebrate coral system in the same room as the stingrays, as well as our 2 smaller cubes that contain live coral and fish, and a back of house coral system as well. So all of those get a small percentage water change every week, and this lasts me about 2 to 3 weeks. The reason we do this for the corals is because they are a lot more sensitive than fish to other things that might be in the water. So for the majority of the fish-only systems around here, we do use just basic city tap water that we've made sure to dechlorinate. And that is perfectly fine for animals that have a lot more ability to regulate what's inside and outside their bodies anyway. But for corals, since they kind of are whatever the water is, it's really important to make sure that there isn't anything in the water that we didn't put there on purpose. It takes me about half an hour to get all of the salt dissolved enough to get out of the small barrel and back into the large silo. And then of course you have to drain all of your hoses when you are done with that process. A lot of times when people think about aquarists, they think of the fun they have at the aquarium looking at all the fish, but you don't always think about all of the work that goes into creating salt water for those animals. You know, you got to carry these heavy 60-pound bags of salt. It takes 2 of them for my 500-gallon silo, 450-gallon silo. So It can be a lot of hard work as well.